Hello students, today we are going to discuss chapter number 7, that is Introduction to E-commerce. As in our previous video we have discussed about what is an e-commerce and all the things related to the introduction part. Now let us discuss about the entities of trade. So before discussing entities of trade, let us know what does this trade mean. Trade means whenever the persons are buying and selling something, then that is known as trading. Trading means either selling or buying. Okay, so that process is known as trading. There are many entities that are involved in e-commerce. So this means that there are many entities. That means there are many different entities available that are involved in the e-commerce. That means either buying online or shopping online or selling online. So there are many entities involved in this e-commerce. Following are the entities of trade: manufacturer, wholesaler, retailer and consumer. Consumer might also be called as customer. So what are the entities of trade? Manufacturer, wholesaler, retailer and consumer. Now let us discuss about each of the entities of trade individually. Manufacturer: the person who makes the item and sells them to wholesaler is known as the manufacturer. This means the person who is making the item. For example, a carpenter. A carpenter is making his own products. Then he is known as the manufacturer. That means he is making the items and selling them to the wholesaler. Okay, so manufacturer means the person who is manufacturing the product and further who is selling that product to the wholesaler. So that person is known as the manufacturer. In short, manufacturer is the person who is manufacturing or making the product. Further, this product will be sent to the wholesaler. Now, what is wholesaler? The person who buys the items from manufacturer in large quantities and sells them to the retailer is known as the wholesaler. This means the person who is buying the products from the manufacturer. In large quantities. That means when the person is buying product from the manufacturer, that means the person who is making the product and that product is in large quantities, then that person is known as wholesaler. By the name itself you can understand wholesaler. Whole means the whole, the complete thing. Okay, so this person will be buying items in large quantities from manufacturer, and then this wholesaler will sell the product to the retailer. That means wholesaler will buy in large quantities and this wholesaler will be selling it to the retailer. We'll be discussing retailer after this wholesaler is completed. Okay, so in short, who is wholesaler? The wholesaler is the person who buys the products from manufacturer in large quantities. Pay attention here, in large quantities, and further then selling that product to the retailer. This is known as a wholesaler. Now, retailer: the person who buys the items from the wholesaler in small quantities and sells them to the consumer is known as the retailer. So now, what is retailer? Retailer means the person who will be buying the items from the wholesaler. Okay, and then this retailer will be selling the product to the consumer. Okay, so this retailer will be buying in small quantities from wholesaler, and then this retailer will be selling it to the consumer, and this is how the process is being done in the trading. Now, consumer: the person who buys the item from the retailer as per needs and then uses them is known as the consumer. Okay, so these are the entities which are involved in trading. So first, who is manufacturer? Manufacturer means the person who is manufacturing the product or who is making the product, that is known as manufacturer. Wholesaler. Wholesaler is the person who will be buying the product from wholesaler, that means in large quantities, and then further this wholesaler will be selling it to the retailer. Next, retailer means the person who is buying in small quantities from wholesaler and further selling it to the consumer. This is known as the retailer. Consumer. Consumer is nothing but a customer. This customer will be buying the product from retailer as per their needs and requirements, and this is known as the consumer or customer. So these are the entities involved in trade. Coming to the next one, payment methods. Now, payment methods means how we will be paying the amount to the shopkeeper. Okay, so we'll be discussing about this in payment methods. There are two major methods by which we can pay for an e-commerce transaction. So here we'll be discussing about what are the payment methods involved in e-commerce. E-commerce means electronic commerce. That means whenever you're buying or shopping or selling anything through mode of internet, that means either online or by some agent. So there are two major methods. They are cash on delivery and electronic payment. So there are two different methods available for payment, that is cash on delivery and electronic payment. So this electronic payment involves three different categories, that is debit card payment, credit card payment and EFT. EFT means electronic fund transfer. Okay, so these are the different payment methods that are involved in e-commerce. Now let us discuss about each of these payment methods. Cash on delivery. By the name itself, you can understand it clearly that whenever the product is delivered to your doorstep, then only you have to pay the amount. Until and unless your product is not reached to your home, then you will not have to pay a single amount. Most of the online shopping stores give an option of cash on delivery. With this method, we can buy the product from the shopping website and then pay the money when the product is delivered to our doorstep. This is a reliable option as it removes all the doubts that occur in our mind while we purchase products from an online store. So what happens? Some people have doubt. That means while purchasing online, they are having an issue in their mind that when we buy the product, the product will be delivered to our home or not, or the product might be damaged, or any other reasons due to which some people are worried. So to make them worry less, this cash on delivery option is available. That means when the product is being arrived at your doorstep and when you check the product, that means that the original product has been delivered to your doorstep, then only you have to pay the amount. So this is what is known as cash on delivery. So there are many different online stores that offer cash on delivery, and this is a reliable option. Why? Because until and unless your product is not delivered to you, then you don't have to pay the amount. That means if you can be saved from any of the frauds that are most commonly due to this online shopping. So the major advantage of this cash on delivery is whenever the product is reached at your home, then only you have to pay the amount. Okay. Process of cash on delivery. In this, we'll be discussing about how the cash on delivery process is done. So, the first one is searching a product on an e-commerce site. For example, Flipkart. That means, for example, you're having Flipkart or any other e-commerce site in your phone. Then you are searching any product online. For example, you are searching an MP3 player or a speaker. Okay, it can be anything. You are just searching over that e-commerce site. Second, choosing a product and ordering it. The second step here comes is you will choose the product whichever is relevant to your choice, and then you are just ordering it, filling up all the information and moving to payment mode. So this is your third step in process on cash on delivery. This means in this step you will be filling all the details related to your personal information, including your address and your all the information. And now once all the information has been done, then last option is your payment mode. In this payment mode you will be getting different modes of payment. For example, online payment, UPI payment, and at the last you will be getting a cash on delivery option. So this cash on delivery, sometimes this cash on delivery is not applicable on all products, because cash on delivery is not eligible for huge amounts also. Sometimes in selected items, their cash on delivery is not available. So do not worry if cash on delivery is not available at your pin code. Okay, so it is available only on selected places and even on selected products. So when you select COD, then the next step is product ordered and will be delivered on the given date. That means the next step is your product will be ordered, and then after some days, that is within 1 week, your product will be delivered to your doorstep. Once the product has been delivered, then you will have to pay the amount to the delivery person. Now in this step what happens is, whenever you will receive the product at your home, then you have to pay the amount to the delivery person. That means for example, if you have ordered an item of rupees 300, then you have to pay the amount to the delivery person, that is in the form of cash. Okay, so you have to pay the amount to the delivery person, and then finally the payment is done and the product is yours. So this is how cash on delivery works. So in short, cash on delivery, what is the process? You will select the product online and you will order that. Once order is done, you will fill up the payment mode, and in payment mode you have to select cash on delivery. Once cash on delivery mode has been selected, then you will be moving to the next page, that is order confirmation. Once order is being confirmed, then within some interval, that is 1 week interval, you will be receiving your product at your home. Once product has been received, you will have to pay the balance amount to the delivery person, and then the product will be yours, and finally the process will be over. Okay, so this is what is about your cash on delivery. So now let us discuss about the advantages of cash on delivery. First advantage is flexible payment options for the customer. So as a customer, one of the most significant benefits of COD is that you can pay only after you get the product in hand. That means if a customer is having any doubts whether he will be receiving the product at the time or he will be receiving the right product or not, so once you receive the product, then you have to pay. So this is the first advantage of your COD. In that way, there is no risk of loss of money. For example, if you pay online beforehand and the seller does not deliver, your hard-earned money gets stuck with the seller. There is no such risk involved when it comes to cash on delivery payments. Okay, so this is why cash on delivery is known as the best part of the payment. Okay, next, the customer can also check the product and see whether everything is perfect before paying for it. In case you find that the product is defective or a different outcome has been delivered, you can always return it without paying. So this is another advantage of your cash on delivery, that is, if you are receiving any other product, that means either a wrong product or a defective product, then you can just return it without paying a single amount of money. So this is another advantage of your cash on delivery. No dependency on payment cards. No dependency on payment cards means another big advantage of cash on delivery is that it does not make you dependent on credit or debit cards. This factor is useful in suburban or rural areas where a lot of people do not use cards. The delivery comes, you check the product and pay, and the transaction is complete. It is convenient and straightforward. So, in this case, you don't have to use any cards, so you don't have to depend on any credit or debit cards. This is beneficiary for the people in the rural areas. In rural areas, people do not use credit cards or debit cards as much as the urban people use. So this is the best part of this cash on delivery. That means in rural areas, when the product is coming, once the product is received, you will pay the amount and the product will be yours, and this is how the transaction will be complete. And this is how you don't have to depend on any of the credit or debit cards. No online payment fraud. The best part of this cash on delivery is no online payment frauds. Security can be maintained in case of cash on delivery. You do not have to divulge any financial information such as debit card, credit card or bank account details to the seller. This is one reason why lots of customers prefer COD as the preferred mode of payment. In COD, you don't have to share any of your credit card, debit card or any of your bank information to the seller or any of the people. So you will be saved from the online payment fraud. And hence COD is the best mode of the payment for anything. So I hope you are clear about this cash on delivery of our today's class. We will be discussing the different modes of the transaction in next class. Till then, thank you.